Hi everyone, it's Mr. Brenchley over at Pupil Support Office. Just want to send a video to check in from all of us. We obviously miss all of you at home and we can't wait until we're back at school. But we just appreciate everything and all the sacrifices everybody's making just to kind of keep us all healthy. But we do miss you and we want to continue our character education, especially through this time. So we'll have some different lessons and activities that'll be going home. But this first one is just sort of a fun science experiment, actually, a simple science experiment that we're going to tie a character ed lesson to, and that's something that we'll do sometimes. It may shock parents, but there are some kids that don't want to sit around in a circle and talk for half an hour. So sometimes we do these fun activities and tie in a lesson, and this is an example of that. So what I'll do is I'll show you sort of the basic setup for how we do our balloon rockets, and then talk about the major theme that we're going to take away for today. All right, let's go check it out. So here we have our basic balloon rocket setup. We have a string that goes from one end to the other. I use painter's tape so I don't peel off the paint. Keep your significant other happy. You have a straw, and I cut the end of any bendy straw off so that it doesn't get held up on the line. And then what you do is you blow up your balloon and you hold on to it, tape it onto the string, and then you let it go. Now, I could demonstrate this, but I thought it would be better if your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man showed you how it works. Are you ready, Spider-Man? Yeah. On your mark, get set, go! So now you have the basic setup. You can also turn this into an arts and craft thing and decorate the balloon. You could calculate how fast the balloon is traveling and get out your physics charts. Or if you're in a competitive household like mine, you could set up a second string. So now you can have two lines, you can have your balloon rocket races. So there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of make this a fun activity. But how do we make it a character education activity? Why did we pick this activity to sort of improve our social emotional learning and development? The reason why is, especially with all that's going on right now, we picked it because it reinforces our #1 coping skill, the one that's there for us no matter where we are, whether we're in quarantine or not, and that's the importance of taking those deep breaths and breathing. And it's one of the coping skills that we can kind of take for granted, but it can be our most important one. And when you take that deep breath, it does a couple of things. One thing is it can kind of trick your brain actually, and make your brain think that it's starting to be time to calm down, even if you're still feeling a little frustrated. And that's really important because when we get angry or scared or sad, our brain tends to start working faster. And when it starts working faster, what can happen is some of our thoughts and the things that we say and do aren't what we would normally do when we're calm. And you probably have had those times where you've said something you didn't mean in the moment. And so just by giving your brain that time to stop, think, speech language pathologist friends will be happy I just said that, but to just stop and think, and just give yourself even enough time, like the time it takes for this balloon to go down that line before we act, we may cut down on some of those mistakes. And even give our brain the chance to start to think about some of those questions about what it is that's bothering us. How big of a problem is it? Is it something where people aren't really going to be hurt? It's something in a couple of hours you're probably going to be over, and it's something that really doesn't affect a lot of people. And if that's the case, maybe it's one of those smaller problems. Doesn't mean that it feels good. But if that's the case, then it's sort of that, let's take a break, let's do something we like to do, let's figure out a way to just kind of get calm. But if it's something where you've been struggling with this for a little while and you might still be kind of worried and upset about this tomorrow, and it maybe is impacting multiple people, and it's starting to get into one of those bigger problems, then kind of giving your brain that time to think about it and think about who's an adult that you can talk to talk about what it is that's going on, and maybe they can kind of help you with some of these bigger feelings that you're feeling. Okay? So that's why we picked this activity for you kids at home. #1 coping skill, taking that deep breath. But another reason why we picked it is actually for you parents. So kids, you're all done with your lesson for today. You go ahead, go back to playing. Really, I just want to talk to your folks. Go ahead, leave. Oh, is that Christoph? Is he singing into another pine cone? Really, just go. All right, so that should buy us about an hour and 43 minutes. Not that I've memorized the exact runtime of Frozen 2 at this point, but we won't need that long. The other reason why we do this activity is for you parents, is to reinforce that concept of giving yourself some grace through this time and taking a breath. I don't know if you've seen some of the things I've seen on Facebook where you see families where it seems like they've converted their homes into a one-room schoolhouse and they have their schedule and routine mapped out every day, and you feel this incredible pressure of trying to figure it all out and advancing education and supporting your student, and also just dealing with all the things that are going on. And we really want to reinforce the fact that just think about the things that are most important today and what are the things you absolutely need to get done, and set those as your goals. And then if there's anything that we can help with, to please not hesitate to reach out. I think we have this really unique and wonderful community where we have blue collar, we have white collar, we have people who live in town, and then we have this incredible farm industry kind of all around us. And even though there's some differences, one of the things that really ties us all together is this incredible work ethic. Or, you get up, you go to work, no excuses, pull yourself up by your bootstraps each and every morning, and that's great. And it's so needed. But then you have this period of time in which there's this quarantine, and in some cases some of you may want to be going to work and not able to. Or at the other extreme, we have folks that are maybe pulling double shifts right now because you work in the hospitals or you're a first responder, and you're balancing a lot. And we just really, as much as we love that mentality, if there is any way that we can help, we absolutely want to be there for your family. Because if you talk to staff that work at Midlakes, even if they don't live in the community, and you ask them the first word that jumps to mind when you think about Midlakes, it's family, right? And that we really are all in this together, and anything we can do to help, we are more than happy to do that. I've seen counselors connecting with kids through Zoom and doing different sessions that way. I've seen even counselors who are just looking to maintain relationships and just reaching out and providing some entertainment on a rainy day, and they're playing Uno virtually or Connect 4 games virtually with students. Really, if there's anything we can do to check in with your kids, to support your kids, even to just check in with you. If there's questions that you have, if there's anything related to food, related to internet, anything at all of our information is on the webpage. Look any of us up. We're there. We want to connect. We want to help in any way we can. We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through this together, and we're going to be stronger on the other side of it. But please don't hesitate to ask if there is anything potentially that we can do. We're happy to help. So stay safe. We love you, Midlakes. And until next time, take care.